Do you think what's being reported is an exaggeration of what's really happening? In your mind, which one is it?
A lot of people go party in Mexico. A lot of people do drugs. You're going to have to talk to some people that you should not be talking to in Mexico.
The other thing I saw today is the flights are like 50% off. Right? If you want to go in April, flights are like 50% off. So 2 videos. The first one, President of Mexico. This one, the President of Salvador. 2 different strategies on how to combat terrorism. 2 different results.
In my mind, it's real for the people it's happening to. Someone's dad died. Someone's mom died. Someone lost their son.
Ever wonder how one conversation can change your perspective? You're listening to On the Mic with Joe Cee. Real conversations with real people. And every episode leaves you with something new.
Carlos, another fucking episode with the co-host.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, baby?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah.
You doing good?
I'm excited to be here.
Fuck, man. Dude, I've been fucking waiting for this, right? Like, every time we're going to have, like, a recording session, I'm just like, fuck, I've been waiting for this shit. Because, so, just to give some context real quick, right? And we might have said this before, but anybody listening, you know, Carlos and I chose to go with co-host, like having him as my co-host, because every time we get together, it's always some, like, fucking dope conversation, right? Like, we go off the walls talking about a bunch of interesting stuff. And so now that we're doing this episode together, right, it's almost like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
I can't call Carlos. I got to save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
I got to save it for the show, right?
Absolutely.
Because if we start talking, it's a wrap.
Mexico's on fire, and I want to call you to talk about it. And I'm like, wait. We'll talk about it when we get here. That's
Dude,
it.
exactly. That's exactly how that conversation went, right? Because you and I call each other every now and then hey, what do you think about this? Or we'll send each other a video, and then we go voice notes, right? Like just fuck a 2-minute voice note. Hey, da-da-da, and then you respond, hey, da-da-da. So, yeah, man, now we're here. And speaking of that phone call, right? Like, that's definitely something I've been wanting to talk about. And I'm actually glad that this works this way, because when you said, dude, what do you think about that Mexico stuff? And then we decided to say, you know what, let's save this conversation. What was really cool about that for me is that I was able to now introspect, right, on it. Rather than just, dude, if you and I would have had that conversation that day, I absolutely feel like what would have came out of my mouth would have been much different than what's going to come out today.
Okay. Why is that?
I feel like I got time to think rather than react, rather than respond to you out of a reaction like, oh, Carlos is asking me about this thing. Well, let me tell him everything I'm fucking thinking about right now, right? I tell you everything I'm thinking about it in that moment, especially with the algorithm feeding you fucking everything, making it seem like Mexico's on fire.
Yeah.
Right? And now it was like, okay, I have time to look into it. Before I respond out of a reaction, before I say something that's just in the moment because it's happening, let me actually look into some of this shit, right? Like, now that I know Carlos and I are going to talk about it, I'm not going to go in there like a fool, right? And like still be this reactive fool. No, like, now let me look some stuff up. Let me see what's really going on. And that's super cool.
Yeah. And you came to mind because you were just there, right? In the heart of everything. And we were just talking about how we're going to take a vacation there. And you're like, hey, you should join us next time, right? And as I'm watching it, I was like, I ain't never going over there. Ain't no way I'm going ever over there again.
Bro, and it's such a trip, right? Because I was there from the 8th to the 12th.
Yeah.
Jasmine was in Mexico from the 4th to the 12th, right? She even drove. She rented a car, drove from Puerto Vallarta to Tepic Nayarit, from Tepic Nayarit back, right? She drove halfway there through the road that you pay that's supposed to be safer. And she's like, this road is really nice and it's nicely groomed, but there's nothing like the backcountry road, which we've taken before. And she fucking just got off. And the other half of the trip, she took like the one that you don't pay for.
She's brave.
Yeah.
she's got some balls on her, man. She's brave.
But I'm saying all this though, right? To just show a little bit of perspective about Mexico. Yes, I get that in this moment it's different. I get that what's going on now happened after we left, so it makes it a little different. But some Mexican white girl-looking chick went by herself, rented a car, drove from one state to another, 2.5 hours away, or however far that is, took the not back road, right? But the road that's not supposed to be like the safest.
The public one.
And she was fine, right? Like she didn't get kidnapped, right? Like I haven't paid a ransom yet. She's actually here.
She's here.
Right? Like, I mean,
she's here,
right?
She made it.
She made it back, right?
Yeah.
And so just to give a little bit of perspective of how Mexico is it shitty? Yeah. But then again, so are some streets in Compton and Inglewood and La Puente, right? Where I fucking grew up. Like, but, yeah.
So I wonder, like now reflecting on it, do you think what's being reported is an exaggeration of what's really happening? Because you see on social media, you see one clip. It's interesting because I've seen clips where people are running in the airport. They're running with their suitcases, trying to get to a plane as fast as possible. It looks like a movie, right? Mm-hmm. They're trying to like escape a country. Then another clip is somebody at a hotel in the pool going, damn, look at all these explosions. And they're not moving. They're not going anywhere. They're just kind of hanging out, extending their vacation. So in your mind, which one is it?
Look it. In my mind, it's real for the people it's happening to, right? Like those people in that airport, that was real.
Yeah.
To them, right? That was like the most fucking shocking. If we felt like this shocking experience watching it, I could just imagine the people that were in those airports, the people that were front and center to all of this stuff, right? So I'm going to say it's an exaggeration.
Okay.
Right? But here, and it's a big but. I don't like using the word but because it usually separates things. Yeah. But in this case, I am trying to separate it, right? But to the people it happened to, right? To the people in that airport, to the people by the plane, to the workers, to the cops that are in the front lines with these narcos, and there is people dying.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is
was it like 25?
I don't even know the number, right? Yeah. But there's civilians and there's people. Let's think about this real quick. There is people dying. When I say I do believe this is an exaggeration, your algorithm is feeding you the stuff that you're spending the most watch time on. And of course it seems like it's happening everywhere because you're watching every single fucking video that's coming up, right? Like I get it. But I feel it's an exaggeration in like the big picture sense, right? But again, I say that, lightheartedly because for the people in the front lines of this stuff, this is not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
This is real. Someone's dad died. Someone's mom died. Someone lost their son.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is real. That's some real shit. And I think it's exaggerated.
Okay. So the other thing I saw today is the flights are like 50% off, right? If you want to go in April, flights are like 50% off. You can get a vacation, 7 days, food included for like, well, it used to be $4,500 is $1,800. Are you going? Are you taking advantage of these
guys,
deals?
Okay, I'm just gonna be straight with everybody right now. Carlos didn't want to say anything, but Trivago is sponsoring this.
It is Hotels.com. Brought to you by Hotels.com.
Brought to you guys by Hotels.com. Right? Just don't tell anybody, but we're telling you.
I don't know. I saw that.
So, are you saying that like, would you go to Mexico right now?
I don't know because
would you?
I wouldn't even got off that road that Jasmine got off. I would have stayed on the safe road. It costs like 75 cents to be on there.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. It's more expensive now. It's like $3-4.
Is it $3-4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
way cheaper than a ransom.
But it's like way cheaper. $60 to get from like where she was to where she needed to go, just in paying the quotes. But yeah. So would you go?
I don't know because I'm that guy. Like you mentioned, I'll tell you the story. I remember the first time I went to Puerto Nuevo. You know where that's at, right? They do the lobsters. Yeah. They do like the food on the water. It's really nice, right? I was there
like in October or something.
Okay, okay. The first time we went, we were hanging out at Gas Lamp, and a bunch of guys, there was like 8 of us, and we're like, dude, we should go to Puerto Nuevo. And we were like, who's been to Mexico? Nobody had been to Mexico. And we're like, let's do it. And so, the guys, right? And so egos are in play, right? Nobody wants to say they're scared, right? And so the next morning we all get up and we're like, so we're going to go to Mexico? Yeah, I'm down to go to Mexico. You're going to go? Yeah, I'm down, right? Nobody, no objections. We take a cab to the border. We walk across. As we're walking, right, to that turn thing, right? Nobody says anything. Crickets. Super quiet. No one's talking. We all cross. I take a breath. I'm like, dude, I can't believe I'm doing this. We come across to Mexico. We hop in a cab. We're in this little like van, and everyone's looking out the window like, are we going to be okay? Is this the last time we see each other? We show up to Puerto Nuevo. We get out and we're like Batman and Robin, back to back. Everybody's just kind of looking around, right? Making sure, like checking our. And this white dude pulls up in a Range Rover, pulls up with his baby, and he's like, hey, park my car for me, right? No English, no Spanish, right? Goes in and eats. Not a care in the world. And here we are looking indigenous as hell, scared as hell about being in Puerto Nuevo. We speak the language. We look like the people. We can blend in, and we're super scared. And this guy couldn't care less. And that was eye-opening for me because it makes you realize, like, you're more worried than you need to be sometimes. And we ended up having an amazing time. We came back. We were safe. We've gone multiple times now. And so, yes, if you pay attention to what's on social media, what's on the news, right, I would have thought. That's what I thought going in. I was going to get kidnapped, and it ended up being just fine.
Yeah. For the most part, it is, man. Like, if you are in Mexico and you are in areas you shouldn't be, right? And for anybody who comes and visits LA, you can almost clearly see which areas you probably shouldn't go tourism in, right?
Yeah.
And so it's the same with Mexico, right? And then also another thing too, right, which is, are you mixing yourself with the scene, right? Like, a lot of people go party in Mexico, right? And a lot of people do drugs, right? Like, if you're going to the club, right, and you didn't bring your own stash, and now you're 3 beers in, super party, and you're going to want some cocaine, right? Like, you're going to want to score some drugs. You're going to have to talk to some people that you should not be talking to in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's how shit happens.
Yeah.
Right? Like, or you go to clubs where you just know, man. Like, you walk into these clubs in Mexico, you see the bottles, you see the chains, you see the women, right? Like, when you see that, it's like, okay, maybe this is not the spot I want to be at, right? Because somebody comes in here that doesn't like that guy that's over there.
That's it. Lights out.
And lights out. And I'm here just to dance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, it depends on where you put yourself in Mexico. If you go to Mexico, man, and you just visit family and you eat the fucking homemade tortillas your tia's making you, and you're at the party in the backyard and you just hanging out, you're walking to get fresh veggies every morning because in Mexico, like, that's possible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're walking to the papeleria. Like, if you just go just to enjoy the culture, enjoy your family, the risks are very minimal, right? I'm not saying there are no risks, because there are risks here where we're at right now, right? In San Dimas, like, this fucking right,
slightly less,
bro. This where we're at right now, it's gotten broken into 3 times, maybe 4. We have video footage. We have social media proof.
I wish that was disclosed prior to me coming here right now, but that's fine, I guess.
But you wouldn't think in San Dimas.
Yeah,
right?
I get
so
it.
Again, I'm not saying the risks are not there, right? But if you just go do your thing, don't fuck with the wrong people, right? Don't go into places you probably shouldn't be going in Mexico, right? You want a club, club here, right? Like, go partying here. You know, here it's a little bit of a different dynamic than over there. Don't go to Mexico and fucking party like that, right? Because then you're just putting yourself, like my mom said, when I first got a motorcycle, she said, al que le toca, pero cabrón, no te pongas en el tocadero.
That's true.
Right?
It's valid.
That's it.
It's valid.
Norma Rams, Chavez, she said it right. She said it right.
Well said. Yeah, so to answer your question from earlier, maybe, and I have to look into it, but it doesn't sound like they're invading the tourist resorts. Right, I haven't heard that they went into a hotel with a bunch of people by the pool. Right, so given that, maybe it depends on the price. Right, maybe not at 60% off, but at 80% off. Maybe
I'm fucking there.
Let's fucking go.
Right, I'm fucking there.
Well, we're gonna record a freaking episode from out there,
in Mexico, right? And an all-inclusive though, bro, because you got to be safe. Right?
You got to be safe.
We can't be going out and about to the wrong places, right?
If I go, I am not leaving the hotel. There is nothing you're gonna tell me that's gonna make me leave the hotel. I will be there in safety.
Yeah. But I mean, again, there's a really human aspect to all of this. It's real easy for you and I to sit here and talk about like this stuff, right? And the one thing I want to say again, repeat again, is that there's a real human aspect to this where there is people dying.
Yeah. There
is shit happening, regardless of your opinion. Like, this is real for a lot of people, right?
It is, and it sucks. I think of a video, and I'm not sure if you can find it, but it's the president of El Salvador, right? He's talking about like why Mexico can't like shut down this corruption, right? Yep. Why Mexico can't shut down the cartels, and kind of what he thinks it is. If you have a chance, like it'd be cool to watch it, because I think you have it. Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
So let me see. Right here. I just gotta bear with me. Bear with me, guys.
Because that makes me think about how many people are suffering, right, and why they're suffering. Because how did El Salvador fix this? Because El Salvador was super dangerous. Now
that's what I want to know.
You could argue
that's what I want to know.
That they violated human rights. You can argue that it's whatever, but it's working and it's safe. Yeah. And I would go to El Salvador before I go to my own country. Right? I'm from Guatemala. I would go to El Salvador before I go there.
Yeah. Well, I heard El Salvador is one of the safest places.
Well, now it is.
Now.
Yeah.
Now it is. All
yeah.
Right, so let me just test
And they got
this.
pupusas.
And they
got panes.
Let me test this. You know what? Before I show you that one.
Okay.
The other clip I kind of wanted to go over with you was the one of Claudia Sheinbaum. I don't know if it was today or yesterday or whatever, but she was talking about how the war on narcos is.
Oh,
like,
I saw a clip of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me know if you can hear it.
Regresar a la guerra contra el narco no es opción. Primero, porque está fuera del marco de la ley. Regresar a la guerra contra el narco no es opción. Regresar a la guerra contra el narco no es opción. Primero, porque está fuera del marco de la ley. Todos estos de la derecha que se llenan la boca de las palabras Estado de Derecho y defienden la guerra contra el narco. Pues la guerra contra el narco está fuera de la ley. Es permiso para matar, sin ningún juicio. Y eso en México nadie o muy poquitos están de acuerdo. Y segundo, no sirvió de nada más que para aumentar los homicidios en México y el nivel de violencia. Estos llamados autoritarios, porque son autoritarios, es ir hacia el fascismo, donde no hay Estado de Derecho y donde todo es extrajudicial y donde se impone, ahí sí, la violencia del Estado. Ese es el verdadero autoritarismo, el regreso a la guerra contra el narco, porque ellos dicen que somos autoritarios, ¿no? Nosotros defendemos la ley y claro que el trabajo que se tiene que hacer para seguir pacificando el país y disminuir los delitos de alto impacto. Pero eso es lo que está de fondo, más allá del uso de palabras altisonantes, de groserías, eso es secundario. Lo fundamental es que representamos dos proyectos de nación y que el pueblo de México está con la Cuarta Transformación, porque además ha dado resultados en todos los sentidos. Nada más 13.5 millones de mexicanos salieron de la pobreza, nada más.
So before we get into that video, right? Because I did see that Bukele one that you sent me, right? Before we start giving opinions on what we think of, because I had a bunch of shit come up earlier when I was watching that video, but let me see here if I can now find it. Okay, here you go.
Mucho mayor que el de Latinoamérica.
No, let me see now.
It's the one where he's like asking why they can't stop it. Let me see if I can send it to you. I think I just sent it to you on IG.
On IG. Okay, hold on. Okay, here you go.
Y no hay carteles. Habrán dealers, ¿verdad?
We start from the beginning.
¿Cómo es posible que una organización criminal se puede agenciar un territorio entero y el gobierno no los puede sacar? Yo creo que no hay gobierno que no pueda eliminar la delincuencia. Es absurdo. El Leviatán, el Estado, siempre es más fuerte que cualquier organización criminal. Nosotros lo demostramos. Era el país más inseguro del mundo y ahora es el más seguro del hemisferio. En Europa hay un consumo de drogas mucho mayor que el de Latinoamérica. Y no hay carteles. Habrán dealers, ¿verdad? Pero no hay carteles de la droga, no hay carteles de la droga, mucho menos controlando territorios en Europa. Y Francia va a controlar el sur de Francia, lo va a controlar un cartel, y el otro cartel el norte. Eso no pasa en Europa. Porque el Estado controla su territorio. Y aquí en Latinoamérica no. No podemos controlar el territorio. Tenemos que dejarle esa zona a los carteles, la otra zona a la organización criminal, la otra los barrios a las pandillas. No puede ser. Algo tiene que estar mal. Y aquí en Latinoamérica controlan sectores grandes de México, controlan sectores grandes de Colombia, controlan sectores grandes de Brasil. Y ¿cómo es posible que una organización criminal se puede agenciar un territorio entero y el gobierno no los puede sacar?
Porque están en el gobierno.
Por eso. Entonces, ¿cómo es posible que...
So 2 videos. The first one, President of Mexico. This one, the President of Salvador. 2 different strategies on how to combat terrorism. 2 different results. What's the first thing that comes to you?
I mean, okay, well, if I'm going to be honest, the first thing that comes to me when I see those 2 videos is fucking Bukele is right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
shut the shit down.
He fucking did it, right? He obviously did it. Why aren't more countries going over to this dude and saying, "Hey, can you give me your playbook?" Right? How can we do this here? So that's the first thing that comes to mind, right? But then the secondary thing that comes to mind is it's much more complicated than that, right? It's much more complicated. Okay, so one thing I did hear Claudia Chainbound say in that one was waging war on the narcos is giving the right to kill, right? And it's at least I'm not going to say I was about to say she's absolutely right, but there is no right or wrong. There's just my perspective on it, right? My perspective on it is she's absolutely right. If I was a Mexican and I was 16 years old and my dad was a cop or my brother was a soldier, how okay would I be with this Mexican president who is chilling in her castle? That's the way I would think about it as that person, right? How would I feel about this person sitting in her fucking castle, waging war on narcos, knowing my dad or my brother is going to be the cost? That's really what comes to mind there. Which life is worth it? Right? Which life is worth it? In the macro, it's absolutely worth it. These fucking cartels, they human traffic people. A lot of people. They kill a lot of moms. They kill a lot of dads. They kill a lot of brothers, right? They do a lot of destruction. I was reading, I don't even think I wrote them fucking down, right? Fact check me, guys, if you want, right? But there was a war on narcos in 2006.
Yeah.
Felipe Calderón waged war. He was the president back then on narcos, right? And hundreds of thousands of people died, right? Hundreds of thousands. Narcos are still here, right? What happened? Back in 2006, there was huge cartels. And that war, I was a kid, right? But I think I remember a few things my dad telling me stuff that shit was serious. Felipe Calderón went in there and Mexicans were excited because this fool fucking was going to, bring war on the narcos. And what happened is a lot of people fucking died. A lot of people. The cartels fractured. They went from being big cartels across the region to a shitload of small ones. And now a lot more violence, a lot more everything. And the narcos are still here. The narcos are still here.
Yes. Going back to what you said earlier, you said, if I'm a kid, I'm thinking this is my dad's life being put at risk, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that Bukele talks about, and I'm not 100% like a Bukele fan, right? But one of the things he talks about is everyone has human rights. The criminals have human rights. The rapists, is like a speech he has, right? Rapists, everybody has human rights. But so do all these victims, and so do innocent people.
Yes.
And so, yes, we need to respect human rights. We need to like not lose more lives. But to your point from earlier, lives are being lost already. Mm-hmm. And so the question is for how long? And you can see what's going to feel like a blip in history. Maybe we do lose more police in Mexico. Maybe we do lose more innocent people. But if we could eradicate the problem long term, like it appears he has, why not do it?
Absolutely.
And I have mixed feelings about it because I see these jails in El Salvador and I go, fuck, that sucks, dude. For someone to be no TV, no entertainment, no protein, no nothing. It seems terrible. But it was much worse to have people afraid to go home. To have what I think about when you mentioned my kid, I think about as a father, how do I feel knowing that no matter how much I invest in my son, no matter how involved I am with my son, that there's a chance he can get forced into being in these cartels, that he can get influenced into joining these guys, and that can ruin the rest of his life, or he could lose his life being part of the cartel. Mm-hmm. And so I think if we can eradicate that, I'd be willing to give my life to make sure that he can grow without having that influence and having those things. That's how I look at it differently.
Yeah. In the macro, I 100% believe in the macro that Mexico should absolutely wage the kind of war that Bukele waged on the Mara Salvatrucha.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like in the macro, bro, right? In the macro, yeah. Like, can you imagine? I was watching, I was actually listening to PBD, right? There was, it was earlier this morning. I listened to like a 5-minute segment, right? Where they were talking about this, the Mexico, Puerto Vallarta thing. Yeah. And one of the guys was saying like, dude, like, can you imagine if that happened in the United States? Right? Like, can you imagine if this organized crime, this like organized criminal organization, whatever, came and they started burning down police stations. They started going into airports and fucking with us in our airports and all, like, dude, there's no way. Like, we would obliterate them at all costs. Like, whatever it was, we'd make sure, like, no, like, this is not going to happen, right? We send the military, the Coast Guard, like, whatever. Like, we'd make sure that didn't happen. I align with that. Like, I just don't see how any country, any government can really allow this to happen, right? Which is why in the macro, I'm like, dude, it's got to happen.
Now, go ahead.
But again, it's really easy for me to say that in a podcast studio with one of my best friends than being in Mexico and being a soldier and being, part of all of this stuff.
Hold on. You're in San Dimas. You just said how dangerous. We're also dodging bullets apparently in San Dimas.
This place doesn't get robbed right now. Please, guys, don't rob us right now.
Wait another 15 minutes. We'll be done here.
15 minutes. We'll be good.
But the difference, I think, too, is I don't know the data, but I wonder how many innocent people lost their lives as Bukele did that and cleaned house.
Yeah, that would be really
that'd be good to know, right?
I mean, I could ask right now.
Because
ChatGPT.
Ask Chat. Let's see how accurate that is. But that's one thing that comes to mind. But also, Mexico can do it with the power of the U.S. government, right? So apparently, President Trump has offered to help them. What would be different if the U.S. government was involved? I heard some rumors that they were involved in the assassination of El Mencho. I don't know.
Well, there was definitely, Hold on, let me see. How many casualties were there in
El Salvador's war on terror?
Not including people part of the criminal organizations. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to play this out loud. Don't make fun of how my ChatGPT talks to me. Cause,
is it going to be all sensual?
I don't know, man. I hope not. I told it not to. Before I got on the show, I was like, you know what, Chat, please, I might use you today. You might have to talk. Yeah. You might be recorded, right? But so please don't.
Give me a regular voice.
Yeah, just, give me a regular voice. Just make this happen. All right, tell me if you can hear it.
Short answer. There isn't a reliable official number of non-gang civilian casualties from El Salvador's anti-gang crackdown. often called the War on Gangs or War on Terror. But credible human rights reporting suggests dozens to a few hundred possible non-criminal deaths, plus thousands of disputed detentions. Here's the clear breakdown so you're not getting social media distortion. What War on Terror means in El Salvador. This refers to the anti-gang campaign launched in 2022 by President Nayib Bukele under a state of emergency targeting gangs like MS-13, Mara Salvatrucha, Barrio 18, 18th Street Gang. Over 75,000 plus people were arrested in a very short period. Non-gang members, confirmed or credibly alleged deaths. Human rights groups, Cristosal, Amnesty, HRW, etc. have reported 80 to 200 detainee deaths in custody, where families claim the person had no gang ties. Some cases show possible neglect, abuse, or lack of medical care. But here's the honest reality. The government disputes many of these claims. Independent verification is difficult. Some detainees may have had indirect gang ties not publicly documented. So there's no universally agreed number. Wrongful detentions, much larger.
Yeah, we'll just pause that there. But yeah, so I guess there isn't. There is no.
I guess it's tough to measure, but I know that there's a lot of people saying about the potential wrongful incarcerations, wrongful death of people that were innocent, right? But I haven't heard any videos of any Salvadorian people complaining about how much they appreciate their safety.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the cost of like true freedom.
Yeah.
Because now they actually have freedom. They can go and live their lives. And so until I hear widespread protests in El Salvador because of this, I feel like we're good. I feel like they've done a really good job.
Yeah.
Sucks for anybody that's wrongly arrested. But I think it's for the greater good. And I think Mexico has to do something. It has to do something more than what they're doing. And when I hear the president say something like, I think in the video she says we're focused on stopping major crime or major breaking of laws by following the law. It's really hard for me to not believe that she might be in on it. And I know it's super conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not so. Yeah, I get it. Sorry.
Yeah, it makes me feel like, who are you protecting and what are you doing? Because the time is now. Like, the time is now to send everything you got, right, to Puerto Vallarta and just knock this thing out. Beat it out of that city.
Ah, man. See, again, yes. Like, again, I absolutely agree something needs to be done, right? Yeah. Something needs to be done. And I always have to, I guess it's the curiosity in me. I always have to look at both sides of the coin, right? Think about this. Again, in the macro, it's really easy to say this, right? But what does Mexico's economy depend on the most? Tourism. Now, if these cartels have enough in them, right? Weaponry, resources, if they have enough to wage a war for even 30 days. Yeah. 30 days, right? One, can you imagine the damage to infrastructure, to so much, right? And then two, can you imagine how many people would be going to Mexico in those 30, 45, 60, 90 days? Can that economy handle that?
Now, wait. Is that worse than the impact that this unresolved issue is going to have? Because maybe 50% of the people that were going to vacation are going now. And so maybe that's a bigger impact that over the course of 9 months, it's going to take you a year to recover, to build trust that people will want to go back, right? It's going to take at least a year for me to go back and visit them, right? Mm-hmm. You know, is that a bigger impact? Do you bite the bullet, take the hit, guarantee safety? Because now, how many people do I know are saying, man, I'm going to El Salvador, I'm going to go check it out. Mm-hmm. Can they bring tourists back and they charge more because it's safe? Yes. I don't know what the answer is, but definitely I hope that it gets cleaned up. I know that the people will persevere. I saw this really cool video. It's not cool, but it's this guy. And it shows a video of the streets, and there's all these cars that were lit on fire. They're just covered in ashes, right? And there's this guy going to his same puesto with a bunch of carnitas, and he's chopping them up, and he's going to sell tacos because that's what he does. The day after everything was on fire, he's going to go open up his stand, because I think that speaks to the perseverance of the people of Mexico. They're going to fight through no matter what. But I hope for all those people that have to live there and deal with it, that there's a resolution soon. Yeah. What it is, I don't know. We can debate on it.
It's tough, man.
But it's tough.
That one is so tough, man, because there's just so much, right? Like, I think about it, and this is another thing too, right? Again, when you and I get together, these things go forever, right? Yeah. But that's another thing for me too, right? Like, I really feel like if Mexico does wage this war, right? Yes, it's worth it. Ultimately, who's going to say it's not? Look at El Salvador. It's been done. The blueprint is there, right? But it's like, are you willing to partner with the devil maybe to have that happen, right? Mexico's economy, I believe, would need to be subsidized some way, somehow. In order to really make this work, they may just need the U.S., right? They may just need the U.S., whether it's for military, whether it's for operations, or whether it's to be subsidized financially for the economical hit that it's going to take. Yeah. But again, are you willing to lay in bed with the devil to make that future possible? Maybe. I'm just thinking.
I think about all these issues, right? Like, could you solve other issues by fixing the war on terror and making Mexico's economy better, making Mexico just better in general? Would less immigrants want to come here if there was opportunity in their home country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've heard stories. I think you've had somebody on your podcast before that said, hey, they moved here because they were being hit up by the cartels, and that's why they had to close down their business.
Absolutely.
I just talked to somebody else about that. They did the same thing. And so could their businesses boom over there if the cartels weren't involved? Therefore, the benefit to the U.S. is you impact immigration, which apparently is such a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another episode.
That's another episode.
Don't even mention that right now, bro, because we're about to end. We're about to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Right? We're wrapping up. But don't start with Carlos. Don't do this to me, bro. It happens every time. We go to lunch. It's fucking 3 hours later. It's like, what the fuck happened?
I got to go sleep at some point.
Yeah, at some point, we got to go to sleep. Hey, Carlos, well, another one in the books, man. Thank you so much. This is a conversation that I really enjoy having with you, right? I always enjoy having all of our conversations together. I'm not sure if we left with more answers than questions, right? But I definitely think this is a hot topic that if anybody is listening, right, we want you guys' feedback. Please comment, DM, whatever, right? Like, send us videos, right? Send us reels, whatever. Like, we want to interact with you guys. We want to make On the Mic with Joe Cee a community, right? Like, we want to find not like-minded people. We don't want like-minded people. We just want people, right? Whether you're like-minded or not, we just want people. We want feedback. We want opinions. We want dialogue, right? You and I started this because we seen an opportunity in being able to have dialogue with two people that don't always fully agree, but can still be friends at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Like, please, guys, even if it's not with us,
even if it's to tell us that we have no idea what we're talking about, and this is really what's happening in El Salvador, let us know.
Please.
Let us know. If there's another solve that you think could fix it. If you have a conspiracy theory where you're like, the U.S. is the one actually doing this whole thing internally, I want to hear about it. You should comment below. Again, the whole goal of this is to encourage participation, encourage people to just have conversation. Right now I'm presenting a solve that is President Trump, someone who I didn't vote for, but I think could be a solve in all of this. Mm-hmm. But all of this comes from just having conversation.
Having conversation. Yes. So whether it's with us guys or somebody in your environment, have dialogue, guys. Have dialogue. Just have dialogue, right? And listen, right? We talked about this in our last episode. Like, listen to understand. Don't listen to speak.
That's it.
Right? So, again, Carlos, I appreciate you, brother.
Great. Shout out to our sponsors. So shout out to the Original Clip Joint. We have one main sponsor here that makes all of it possible. Open in the city of San Dimas, which apparently is dangerous, but I don't think it's that dangerous. I welcome you to book your appointments in the city of San Dimas, in the city of Covina. You can book online. You can call. It's one of the very few shops that will have somebody answer. You can talk to Joe. You can talk to his wife, and they'll make the appointments for you. And they do a terrific, terrific job. And everybody there is always the vibe. So feel free to join the Original Clip Joint. Shout out to our other sponsor. The website for Mastermind is, are you wearing a Mastermind shirt
I'm
today?
actually not. So you know what? This is not a sponsor, right? But I do want to give a shout out. I do want to give a shout out to my boy K9, David. He's actually one of the barbers at the Covina shop.
Oh, cool.
So this logo right here, if you can see it, right? It's a 2 and an F, right? I'll zoom in on it, right? But it's called Too Faded, right? So this is coming soon. These are some prototypes he made here. I'm going to really quick.
Show the back.
Show the back right there. Bam. So there you go. You guys get a good idea of what the back looks like.
I saw some of the prototypes. He showed me a little bit of what he has on display at the shop. It looks amazing, and so kudos to him. Just different people that we're trying to support, trying to make sure we raise our community by giving people exposure on the small people that we have watching this. I think it's awesome. So kudos to David for starting something fresh.
Yep.
And then hopefully you guys tune in again for our next episode.
Absolutely. And the one he was going to mention, right? Again, shout out to Faded, shout out K9, but also mastermind.com, rmxnd.com. The website should be live by March 15th. That's a clothing brand that I started with my best friend, David Ponce Rivera. He lives in Alabama, but I've known him since I was 9 years old. And we're starting our own brand. The online store should be live by March 15th. We can ship anywhere across the country. We have a bunch of different designs. It's a premium, like urban streetwear, like a high-end urban streetwear brand. So check it out, mastermind.com with an X. And that's it.